Trump campaign is now reaching voters online.
You are seeing the President of the United States. Look at the lines.
You join our movement.
A lot of President Trump supporters here.
Greatest movement in the history of our country. I'm fighting for you, and I love doing it with everything that I have. And I will never, ever stop. We are one people, one family, and one glorious nation under God. We will make America great again.
Welcome to Team Trump Online.
This president deserves the support of the Black community because he's earned it.
There is a silent majority of us that see you, see what you're doing, see what you did for HBCU schools. That was actually the deal for us.
I wager to say that there is no American president since Lincoln that has had the impact for Black America that President Trump has had.
Joe Biden supported the crime bill in '94.
He has imprisoned Black America, basically.
Trump supported the NAACP and Black youth like myself in '87.
He's a businessman. He's bringing businesses back into America.
Bringing jobs back to America.
Bringing the truth back, and he's stopping needless wars.
My day is going to be amazing. I'm never going to forget this day. This day is historic.
In 2016, I made you a solemn pledge. I would be your greatest champion. In the first 3 years, we achieved the lowest Black unemployment rate in history. We achieved the largest job gains for African Americans on record. The poverty rate for African Americans reached the lowest level ever recorded. I did more for the Black community in 47 months than Joe Biden did in 47 years.
We cannot deny that that man has done everything that he has set out to do in record-breaking time. Can we say 3 years? Can we say 3 years?
We will create 3 million new jobs for the Black community. Open 500,000 new Black-owned businesses. Bring even greater fairness to the justice system. We did criminal justice reform.
I want to thank President Donald John Trump.
Create a ladder of opportunity for African American children by delivering school choice to every parent in America. Together we made unbelievable progress and achieved once unimaginable success. And with your support, your vote, and your voice, the best is yet to come.
You can expect us to come out in droves in your support. For absolute certain. That's a certainty.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Team Trump Online. I'm Laura Trump, and tonight we'll be joined by Donald Trump Jr., Kimberly Guilfoyle, and our incredible Vice President, Mike Pence, to unveil Operation MAGA. But before we start, I just want to say thank you to everybody. Our family has felt the incredible support, the thoughts, and the prayers from all across the country for our president, for our first lady, and you've all continued to pray for our entire family over the past 5 years. So we want to say thank you. The president is doing incredibly well. He is in great spirits. I'll tell you, the hardest part for him is not being out on the campaign trail. We know how much this president loves to get out there and talk to the American people, and I can tell you that is exactly what he is going to do the second he gets clearance. But until then, it's up to all of us because, ladies and gentlemen, we know what is at stake in this election. We are less than a month away from the most consequential election in the history of modern America. The decision that we make on November 3rd will determine the direction of this country for a long time to come. It is not just about the next 4 years, it's about the next 40 years. It's about the next several generations in America. That is why this is so important, and that's why our entire family is going to get out there and we are going to campaign harder than we ever have before until we get the president back on the ground and back out all across the country because we know what's at stake. We know that there is one side that is trying to take God out of things. We know that there is one side advocating for socialism. We know there's one side who wants to defund the police, open our borders, make America unsafe, and bankrupt this country. But not President Donald Trump. He's fighting every single day to keep the American dream alive and well. He's fighting every single day despite incredible odds, incredible things against him. Not only is he going to beat COVID, but then on November 3rd, he's going to beat Joe Biden, and it'll be because of all of you out there. What we know is that, look, Don, Kimberly, our vice president can all go out all across the country and campaign. But you guys make the ultimate difference because people see you in the grocery store, they see you at church, they see you at your kids' school, they see you in your neighborhoods, and they trust you because they know you. You guys are changing minds every single day all across America. So we have to keep it up. We've got to keep it going all the way until November 3rd. We play this game every second like we're behind until we have the big win, and that entire map is bright red on November 3rd. So on behalf of our entire family, I want to say thank you so much to all of you. Thank you for the hard work. Thank you for fighting for this country and for this president. We are going to have a huge win on November 3rd. I can guarantee you of that, and it'll be because of all of you out there. So I want to say thank you, and I want to say that we are now launching what is really an initiative unlike anything that we've really done from the campaign. Where Operation MAGA is something that we are going to do full force all the way until November 3rd, even when the president gets back out and starts campaigning. So before we get to any more, I want to turn it over to my brother-in-law. You may have heard of him before, Don Jr. He's going to tell us a little bit more about Operation MAGA and how all of you can get involved to fight for 4 more years of President Donald Trump. Don, tell us a little bit more. What do we need to know?
Hey guys, Don Jr. here. It's so important for you guys to get involved and vote for my father on November 3rd or before, if you're going to vote absentee. We must do it. The reality is this, guys. We're in a fight for our freedom and for our liberty. We're going up against a Marxist platform by a guy that's been a Washington, D.C. swamp creature for 47 years. If you're doing a job, if you're doing something with your house, if someone's been working on something for 47 years without any accomplishment, without a track record of success, why would you entrust that person to keep going with this job? Joe Biden has a 47-year track record of failure. He's pushed for every bad trade policy there is, whether it's NAFTA, whether it's TPP, whether it's China's permanent status in the World Trade Organization. Joe Biden has single-handedly done more damage to American manufacturing and good-paying blue-collar American jobs than probably any politician, active or dead. Why would we reward that behavior? Donald Trump has fought for America. He's fought hard. He's done it against unprecedented incoming from a hateful group of Democrats and a media that's just as bad. And yet, he still manages to have success. We have the strongest economy America has ever known, the lowest unemployment rates for every demographic across the country, the highest number of new startup businesses for those same demographics. We have peace deals breaking out in the Middle East. You know, that magic elusive unicorn that we've been hearing about for our whole lives. Donald Trump is achieving peace in the Middle East. Now, you won't hear about that from the media because they don't want to point out the things that are good that Donald Trump is doing. They'll never mention it. They won't mention the trade deals that he's renegotiated to fix the disasters that Joe Biden has pushed. They won't mention that he's getting us out of endless wars, pulling our troops back from wars that our own generals can't articulate why we're even there anymore. We all understand they want a board seat at Raytheon later on, so maybe that's why they're doing it. But that's why you need a fighter like Donald Trump. That's why you need someone who can stand up to the establishment on both sides and do what's right for America. Donald Trump has done that. He's done that in spades, and he's going to keep doing it. Who's going to hold China accountable for the coronavirus? You think Joe Biden's going to do it? After 50 years of building up China, pushing for them to be successful, with his son taking $1.5 billion directly from the Chinese government to his fund You know, minor details, only $30 million a year in fees in a typical 2% fund model. You think the Bidens are going to be tough on China? Guess what, guys? If you weren't tough on China in the first half a century of your career, you're not going to start now. Joe's not capable of that. Joe hasn't been capable in quite some time. But what Joe is he's the camouflage that the radical left will use to push in their agenda. They'll run around and say that he's moderate Joe. He's blue-collar Joe. He's none of those things. He's never had a blue-collar job in his life. He's been an elected D.C. swamp creature since his 20s. And if you can't name an accomplishment of Joe Biden in that time, other than maybe sending your American dream to China, maybe it's time to rethink even thinking about voting for Joe Biden. Joe Biden will bring in the Bernie Sanders, Kamala Harris cabal of the Democrat Party. That's what he's there for. The media, the Democrats, they don't want Joe Biden as a candidate. They want to be able to use him to insert the most radical factions of the Democrat Party in there. And you've seen what those people are doing these days. This is why it's imperative that you get involved, that you stay involved. We need someone who's going to fight for America. Donald Trump has done that. Donald Trump fought the coronavirus and COVID-19. He shut down travel from the epicenter of a viral outbreak, which you would think would just be common sense. But no, the Democrats wanted to keep it open. They can't articulate what they would do differently. They would have kept our borders to the most infected parts of the world open for weeks and even months after my father wanted to shut them down. Think what that would have done to overwhelm our systems. Then my father enacted some of the fastest and strongest public-private partnerships to make sure that we had the PPE we needed, the ventilators that we needed. Notice how those stories magically disappeared because Donald Trump got it done and he fought for you. So I want you to fight back for him. We need you involved. Get there, get your friends, make sure to call. We don't have a multi-billion-dollar mainstream media complex doing our campaigning for us. We have to do it. And we have to do it with you. Thank you. Get out there. And I look forward to waking up on November 4th really happy.
Okay, well, that is Don Jr., my brother-in-law, ladies and gentlemen. He's very low-key, isn't he? Low energy? No, I don't think so. Not in this family, we're not. Don, I'm so excited to get out there and fight with you on the campaign trail. The bad news is none of us in this family even get to see each other when we campaign because we're all in different parts of the country. True story, I found out exactly where my husband was going to be at the end of last week because of a campaign email telling me there's a Make America Great Again event in Wisconsin with Eric Trump. We don't even know where we are all across this country, but that's how hard we're fighting for 4 more years of President Donald Trump. Now I want to welcome Kimberly Guilfoyle, National Chair of Trump Victory Finance Committee. Kimberly, welcome back to Team Trump Online. We want to hear directly from you how every American can fight to secure 4 more years of America First policies.
It is so exciting to be with you to launch Operation MAGA in the final month of the campaign. Tonight, we are coming to you virtually. But in the coming days, we will all be hitting the ground across the country to deliver the President's America First message directly to you, the voters who will decide this election. I want to start tonight by thanking you. We all have been overwhelmed with the outpouring of prayers and support that are being sent in for President Trump. When I tested positive for COVID, I too was able to see just how loving and supportive this MAGA movement is. And your prayers lifted me up. And it wasn't much more than a couple weeks before I was back at it, campaigning on behalf of this president. President Trump, as we have seen, is doing well and is already on the road to recovery. We all know he's a fighter, and now COVID gets to learn that lesson the hard way. Now when it comes down to it, this election is also about a recovery. Several months ago, a global pandemic hit this country, forcing our schools to close, our businesses to shutter, and created great uncertainty for so many. In the face of such chaos, President Trump has led our nation through an unprecedented time. Early on, Democrats tried to argue this virus was not serious and said the president shouldn't shut down travel from the epicenter of the outbreak. Yet, despite their attacks, he went forward and shut down travel from China. Dr. Fauci has since said It was by far one of the most critical decisions the president made in slowing the spread. Then, after downplaying the virus and having it backfire, Democrats and the media turned into alarmists. They said they were going to be shortages of hospital beds and ventilators. They were wrong again. President Trump marshaled the resources and power of his office to send medical ships to ports in New York and Los Angeles. Other military resources were also used to produce temporary hospitals in cities across the country, and private companies contributed thousands of ventilators at a moment's notice. Now, during the chaos, President Trump was strong. He led. That's exactly what we want from a commander-in-chief. Now, the media won't give him credit for it. But just like he did before the pandemic hit, he delivered for America. He put America first, and he made tough decisions that saved lives. Now, as we look to recover, we want the president who built the strongest economy our country has ever seen to do it again. Our economy, for the first time, was lifting up all Americans. We saw unemployment dropping to historic lows for every demographic. The number of people on food stamps was plummeting because finally people were able to find good jobs and provide for their families. Women were among some of the biggest benefactors. Truly, women have thrived under President Trump's policies. We aren't just finding great jobs, we've been creating great jobs. There is more women businesses owners and job creators under this president than ever before. It's those policies and that leadership that will fuel our economic recovery and deliver years of economic prosperity for everyone. However, it's not just the economy. President Trump continues to support school choice, which is important as politicians continue to play games with our children's education. No one wants their child to go into an unsafe environment, but parents should be empowered to make decisions for their children, and their children should not be stuck in the house staring at a computer forever. While the activist unions would like to keep public schools closed indefinitely, many charter and parochial schools are developing innovative solutions to open their doors while also ensuring a clean and healthy learning environment. School choice has never been more important than it is right now for so many children across the country. Finally, I want to end this evening by saying thank you to everyone who has tuned in tonight to this broadcast. This election is bigger than politics. It's bigger than Republican or Democrat. This election is about your life in the future we want to build. With President Trump's continued leadership, it will be a future we are proud of. A future that empowers you, the individual, and the government, or some radical activists. It's a future that will provide opportunity and choice for every American, and it is a future that will be great. God bless you. God bless our soldiers, our law enforcement, our first responders, our doctors and nurses. God bless President Trump and his family. And God bless America. Thank you, and good night.
All right, Kimberly, thank you so much. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is my incredible honor to introduce Vice President Mike Pence to Team Trump Online. Sir, thank you so much for joining us this evening. I know it is very exciting for all of us to have you here.
Well, hello, everybody. This is Vice President Mike Pence. I want to thank Laura and all of our great campaign team for having me on Team Trump Online tonight. Especially want to thank Don and Kim for making the case why it's so important in all the days between now and November 3 that we do all that we can to carry the message of all that we have done for the American people and all we will continue to do with 4 more years of President Donald Trump in the White House. You know, it's been several days since all of us learned that the President, the First Lady, and other members of our team have contracted the coronavirus. I've spoken to the President every day, and I must tell all of you that the President is doing very well. He has great spirits and is so grateful, I know, for the ongoing work that each one of you are doing, for your support and for your prayers for him, for the First Lady, and for all of those impacted by the coronavirus. But tonight, we're focused on launching Operation MAGA, and I couldn't be more excited to be a part of this launch. But to each and every one of you, on behalf of your president and the First Family, on behalf of myself and my family, just thank you for your ongoing support. The truth is, our country is fighting an unprecedented fight against an invisible enemy. But as President Trump has made clear, every step of the way, we're going to bring the full resources of the American government and the full power and creativity of the American economy to defeat this coronavirus once and for all. It really is remarkable to think of the president's leadership throughout 2020. Before there was a single case of coronavirus transmission in this country, this president did what no president in America had ever done before. He closed down all travel to China, the second largest nation in the world. He launched the largest industrial mobilization since World War II. We reinvented testing. We've done more than 115 million coronavirus tests across the country. Recently announced a week ago that we're distributing some 150 million rapid point-of-care tests to make sure that we protect our most vulnerable and that we open our schools and keep our schools open all across the country. We started the development of literally billions of supplies of personal protective equipment. No American who ever required an ICU bed was ever denied one. No American who ever required a ventilator was ever denied one. And I'm so proud that because of the extraordinary ingenuity of our great research companies that we've been developing and distributing and approving therapeutics like many of those that you've heard the president has received. We are well on our way to having the first safe and effective vaccine with tens of millions of doses before the end of this year. But now's the time as we launch Operation MAGA for each and every one of us to continue to do our part in this battle. As you're out and about, as you're talking to voters about all that we've accomplished, all that we can do with 4 more years of President Donald Trump in the White House, we encourage you to continue to do your part. Wash your hands, use a hand sanitizer, social distance, and when you can't do that, wear a mask. And we'll continue to carry this message all across America, on the phone lines and on the doorsteps of people all across this country to a great, great victory on November the 3rd. But tonight is all about really not just all that we have done together to take steps to put the health of America first, but it's also to recognize that in the days between now and November 3rd, we've got to fight. We've got to fight to continue to preserve the progress we've made under President Donald Trump's great leadership. A progress where we've rebuilt our military, where we revived our economy, where we've seen more than 220 conservatives appointed to our federal courts at every level. And soon we expect that we will see another great justice on the Supreme Court of the United States when Judge Amy Coney Barrett becomes Justice Amy Coney Barrett. But it's on, everybody, and that's why tonight we're activating Operation MAGA, and we want each and every one of you to join us. There's a role for everyone to play in Operation MAGA in telling our story. I'm going to be hitting the campaign trail today and headed out to Utah for the vice presidential debate, and I can't wait to take the debate stage against Senator Kamala Harris to draw the contrast between President Trump's America First agenda and Joe Biden and Kamala Harris' agenda of higher taxes, open borders, a Green New Deal, abortion on demand, defunding the police, and setting our nation inexorably on a path towards socialized medicine. And the truth is the choice in this election has never been clearer. The stakes have never been higher. Because of the strong foundation that President Trump poured in our first 3 years, because of the unprecedented relief and support that we secured for American families and for American businesses through the Paycheck Protection Program, our economy is already coming back. Literally over 11 million Americans have already gone back to work in the last 5 months in the fastest economic recovery ever recorded. But Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, they want to raise taxes by $4 trillion. Add to that their $2 trillion version of the Green New Deal. all at a time that the American economy is getting back on its feet. That's why we need to tell our message. We need to lay out this choice to the American people in every day and every hour that remains between now and Election Day, November the 3rd. We want you to join Operation MAGA all across the country to send the message all across this land of all we've done to make America great again and how we're going to make America great again in the next 4 years with President Donald Trump in the White House. I don't have to tell all of you that President Donald Trump is the real deal. He says what he means and he means what he says. And he's never stopped fighting to keep the promises that he's made to each and every one of you and to the American people. But today, as we launch Operation MAGA, I have one word to each and every one of you. Now it's our turn to fight for him. Now it's our turn for each and every one of us to do our part, to make sure that we turn out the vote, that we tell the message of what this president has done, to stand strong for faith and family and freedom, for all the timeless ideals and values that have always made this country great and are making America great again, for the way this president has led through the challenging days of 2020. And so every single one of us has a role to play in this fight. And I want to challenge each and every one of you. First and foremost, make sure you vote. And remember, friends don't let friends vote alone. Grab a family member, grab a neighbor, grab a friend. Make sure everyone in your sphere of influence at work or at worship who stands behind this president knows that they've got to make sure and step up and vote. Make sure you also take time to volunteer. Spread the message to everyone every day between now and Election Day. You know, I'll always believe that the most powerful media in this country is not the big mainstream media, not the cable networks, not the big newspapers, not even social media. I honestly believe the most powerful media in America is word of mouth. I saw it in 2016 when this president delivered a historic victory for the American people. And when the American people are talking to one another, when we're telling each other the stakes for our children and for our grandchildren, we're going to win another great victory for the American people. And we're going to set our nation on a path to be more secure than ever before, more prosperous than ever before. And I can't wait to see each and every one of you out on the campaign trail. So welcome to Operation MAGA. Find a way through Team Trump Online to play your part. And I know with all of your continued support and your prayers, we're going to deliver a great victory for the American people. This is Vice President Mike Pence signing off. But just with a word, I know on behalf of each and every one of you, God bless President Donald Trump and our First Lady, Melania. God bless each and every one of you. And God bless America. See you on the campaign trail.
All right, Vice President Mike Pence, thank you so much, sir. It's been an incredible honor not only to have you here with us this evening, but I can tell you on behalf of our entire family how grateful we are for the Pence family, how much we have enjoyed getting to know all of you, and how important it has been to have you fighting alongside President Trump for the past 4 years. We can't wait to see what you two do together over the next 4. All right, so it is time for all of us to do our part to win this election. First of all, make sure you, your friends, family, and coworkers, and your neighbors vote in this election. I mean, folks, this is the most important thing you can do. You got to vote. You can go to vote.donaldjtrump.com to get everything you need to cast your vote for President Donald Trump. Find out if you're registered. Find out where to register. Find out where to vote. Go to that website. Do your part for Operation MAGA. Here's how you do it. You go to armyfortrump.com to learn all the different ways you can volunteer for the Trump campaign. You can also download our official Trump 2020 campaign app. All you have to do is text app, APP, to 88022. There you can sign up to knock doors, make phone calls, and also you can visit the campaign store if you need some more gear. So let's get out there, ladies and gentlemen. Let's fight for 4 more years of President Donald Trump. The alternative doesn't even know for which position he is running most of the time. We have to win this election, folks. And I just want to say again, thank you so much to all of you out there for the support, for the president, for the First Lady, and for our entire family. It is very clear we love America at the Trump campaign, and we know you do too. That's why we got to get 4 more years of Donald Trump. Thank you to everyone for tuning in tonight. God bless, and we'll see you next time.